This was a slightly unusual week just because we had some personal things going on, but also we're quite busy at work. But we have managed to at least get the hallway mostly done, as you'll see, and got into the garden a little bit to do a couple of things, often including just fixing fox messes that they have created for us. So not a crazy intense week, but at least we're feeling a little bit more accomplished. And as you'll see, we got into some color theory.
All right, that is looking significantly better. Uh, and is only annoying in that it was much easier than any of the other walls that we've done. And I'm not really sure why. So, whatever. But there's a little bit of touching up to do, a few places that actually show up better on camera than in person. Obviously where the trunking is, that's difficult. But it doesn't have to be perfect. I'll have to kind of go around the top with something else, maybe the wire scrub brush, to just try to get some of those bits off. But the next step is skimming. Yeah, we'll see where we'll get to after dinner.
Yes, it was ready when you've changed.
Yes, I should probably get out of my disgusting, sweaty, dusty clothes.
Possibly.
Plenty of signs of life in the garden, although these don't have drainage holes, so we're going to fix that real quick. Look at the onions and shallots coming up. Well, we've been away for most of the weekend doing some necessary family stuff. And now that we're back, one of the things we're trying to sort out is the hallway and the color for the hallway. As you may remember, there's quite a lot of orange and teal through this door to what will be the kitchen, through this door to the living room. So trying to find something that fits in. We have been sort of leaning towards this slightly more terracotta orange, which actually the camera is picking up as pretty true to color. You may remember from one of my slight mental breakdowns the other day, this is the orange we've kind of put up. But having lived with it, I love this color out in the garden. Maybe it's a little much for in here. So we wanted to wait and see, a couple of different kinds of natural light. I'm actually going to just open up the front door and we'll see with real. So this is our front door is basically west facing. It's a little northwest. So we are thinking about this through into the kitchen, but this other one, title pending, we're giving some real thought to, because upstairs, once it's not just a lead paint monstrosity, obviously we've got the green room we've already painted, and Andy's office will be a real rusty red. My office will be quite a golden yellow. So we kind of liked the idea of this more taupey, not quite brown. I think it'll go quite well with the foresty colors upstairs and even the blue that I think we're close to deciding on for the bathroom, which I'll show you a bit later. So if we sort of had these last two together, I feel like it would kind of tie the house together. But there are some other contenders, so we'll see what Andy says when he gets home and has seen some pictures of it with natural light. Also, it shows how much I was paying attention this morning. Didn't even notice that the skip is gone. Well, that's quite nice, and I imagine the neighbors will be very happy. We do have a bit of winter maintenance I need to do out here, including definitely cutting back, but possibly digging up these gorgeous irises and trying to find them a better home. So we're at least slightly less of an eyesore, and hopefully people will stop fly tipping into our skip. Also, just testing out the bathroom colors. So obviously the cabinet doesn't need to be the exact same match. One thing we were just testing is the a new paint color. And I quite like this quite royal blue called Blue Blood against the edge. But I think it will go pretty nicely with all of the colors in there.
We're back. I haven't done much over the last few days because we had to visit some family. So what I'm just doing today is a bit of sanding of the bits that are just really small and awkward to get to with the scraper. So I'm hoping just a quick sanding, spray it with the alkaline, and then at some point, maybe not tonight, but at least hopefully tomorrow or Thursday, we'll be able to put the first coat of skim on and then maybe even some color by the weekend. So let's just wrap this wall up, shall we?
Like so many things in this house, this was a dusty, messy job. The stripper keeps working for a while and it crystallizes, but it also kept working for a while, which on the one hand was great because it kept the paint coming off even after we thought it would have stopped working.
Okay, I've scraped off about as much as I'm going to be able to. I've sprayed the alkaline stuff on. We'll probably just give it one more spritz before we go to bed, just because in our experience upstairs, it does take a while to get it to stop like actively trying to eat the wall. So hopefully by Thursday night, it'll be dried enough that we can just give it a very quick wipe down and then skim.
But until then, mashed potato, Roger.
Mashed potatoes. Well then, I know what I'm doing.
We're going to be using the same teal that we had in the living room at our previous flat, which is one of the very few things about that flat that we actually like, as well as a slightly darker teal for the downstairs bathroom when we eventually get around to it. We're still debating the kitchen orange. Andy prefers the brighter orange. I'm kind of partial to the muted one. So I think what we'll do, since we have the bright orange, is we'll paint the existing kitchen with that color. We'll live with it for a few months. And then when we actually get around to doing the extension and the new kitchen, then we can decide exactly what the right color of orange is. As mentioned earlier, the hallway entry color, it's not the most exciting color in the universe, but it will tie the two halves of the house together, is our hope. We've chosen all of the colors for upstairs. The challenge is the yellow in the picture, as you will have seen from earlier videos, is not the color in the can. The warm golden yellow that I want is not the same as baby poo yellow. So while on the picture, that's exactly what I'm looking for, we're still trying to find the right shade. Andy's office, he's got full creative control, so that red actually ties really well in with the green that we've got in what will be our bedroom, my theoretical yellow. And, even the bright blue that we're looking at for the bathroom, we've got some different pieces of art that have this sort of gold, that sort of green, and that bright blue. So I think we can make the argument that they all fit together. We realize that these colors are not for everybody. We're not white wall kind of people, nor do we desire to be.